On this week's Waypoint, Riot's laggy servers and why we should be a little understanding, the Heimerdinger visual update, a way of scoring some free bonus RP, and our LCS recap of Week 6. What's up guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap for Friday, February 28th, 2014. I'm your host, Mike Schaffner. Now first up guys, I want to apologize because we didn't get this week's show out until Friday this week, but based on my new schedule, this actually might become a permanent change, just so that you guys know. Now first up, I want to start this week's show by talking a lot about the recent connectivity issues that most players have been experiencing. If you guys have logged into League at all these last few weeks, you've probably been plagued with massive lag or lost games that indefinitely attempt to reconnect. It's frustrating and extremely annoying, don't get me wrong, but before we go and grab our pickaxe and begin to march against Riot, let's remember that these problems are being caused by an outside party. For those of you who maybe don't know, there's a process that's known as DDoSing, and the layman's definition of the attack is a massive influx of connections that are sent out with the intent of shutting down a network or service. So basically, hackers are deliberately trying to affect Riot's server stability to negatively impact players and potentially extort Riot for money. It has actually been shown that in the last 2 weeks, world record-breaking DDoS attacks have been seen to several different companies that includes Riot Games. So now that you guys understand why and how something like this is going on, it's fair to ask why Riot isn't doing something to prevent these attacks. Why has there been a problem that's been progressively getting worse as the months go on with no real change? Well, Riot reported in the last 6 months that over half of all of the DDoS attacks have been seen in the last 2 months, showing a significant increase in strength as the digital arms race against hackers grows in scale. But despite all of this, Riot is expecting that the rate of these attacks will decrease soon. They've already been able to fend off many attacks before they've even created problems for players, and their network team has been working almost non-stop for several weeks, both fighting off DDoS attacks around the world and strengthening their internet services. It's hard to say when we'll see an exact end to all of these lag issues, or if we ever will. As Riot puts fixes into place, hackers are always discovering new ways that they can cause problems. It's important to remember that while yes, our playtime and their service is being affected, Riot is doing everything within their power to solve the problem for everyone. They're happy when we're happy, and they want us to be playing their game. Just be glad that you're not paying a monthly subscription to enjoy this amazing game, otherwise there would really be hell to pay. Alright, now I think that there would be a lot of you who are willing to say that the Heimerdinger visual update was a long time coming, and one that Riot has been rather vocal about. Just to give you guys some perspective on how long they've promised this visual update, they actually mentioned it long before this channel even existed. While we saw a mechanical relaunch to his abilities a few months back, now it appears that the visual update is finally underway. So what did Riot finally have to say when they broke their silence? Well, they said that updating a champion like Heimerdinger requires all of the rigor of the scientific method. The first major discovery was that the once considered Heimerdinger's brain is actually just his wavy locks. After days of cutting and styling and reshaping, Heimerdinger has returned to his lab with his brand new do. With his hair density significantly reduced, Heimer has used the extra space in his head to modify a robotic arm that will raise and launch a bevy of rockets and grenades at the enemies of science and progress. While of course Heimer's visual update looks incredible, some of you might be concerned or asking yourself, well, what'll happen to his iconic YOLO swag, which will actually be preserved by the first ever toggleable taunt that'll allow you to secure that pentakill and then walk away in style. This type of toggle taunt could actually open a world of possibilities for the VU team, and it'll be exciting to see how they add it to new champions going forward. Just as a quick note, Riot wants to help you kickstart the 2014 season and is offering bonus points with every RP purchase from March 2nd through March 9th. Here's a quick breakdown of all the RP you can get. $10 will get you 80 bonus Riot points, $35 will get you 450 bonus Riot points, and for a whopping $100, you'll score an extra 2,000 Riot point bonus. Now, this obviously isn't the entire list, but you can follow the link that's in the description below for the entire breakdown, as well as check out the RP table for EU customers. Alright, now obviously with all of the hype surrounding Vel'Koz, Riot is jumping on the train to share everything under the sun about his entire development. To celebrate, Riot held a Vel'Koz AMA on Reddit and revealed a ton of information about this new champion. There was a lot here, so much so that I couldn't possibly cover all of it on this week's show. I truly don't even know where I'd begin. But fortunately, the guys over at Surrender at 20 did an amazing job collecting all of the questions and organizing them into digestible categories as well as paragraphs. So if you guys are excited about Vel'Koz, and trust me, I know a lot of people are, you need to check out this post, and you can be sure to find a link in the description below. Alright, now I know this is a League of Legends show and that most everyone out there is a fan of the MOBA genre, but I'm willing to bet that there are some of you out there that are fans of MMOs as well. If there aren't, then I can almost guarantee that at least a few of you guys enjoy the Elder Scrolls series. For those of you that do, I'm sure you're aware of the upcoming Elder Scrolls Online, and we here at LOL Nation TV want to hook you guys up with a great deal when you pre-order this game. The offer is good for both standard and Imperial editions of the game, and by pre-ordering, you'll gain access to at least a 3-day early head start, 30 days of game time, as well as the Explorers Pack DLC. Now, while I know everyone out there isn't interested in playing MMOs, for those of you guys that are, this is a really great deal, and we have no idea how long it's gonna last. So if you guys are at all interested in pre-ordering Elder Scrolls Online, be sure to head over to offergb.com/ESO or click the link that can be found in the description below. Let's switch things up and check out the two biggest games this week in the LCS. We start things off with the European LCS and our featured game Super Hot Crew vs Fnatic. Things on the Rift really started to shine in favor of the Season 1 champions, with some action in the bottom lane when Fnatic's Cyanide takes advantage of Super Hot Crew's displacement and comes up right behind them, picking up first blood from Morgana as well as the early advantage in the jungle. But Fnatic's weakness started to really show, especially in the mid game. Sivir initiates a team fight with her ult only to have the tankier champions of Super Hot Crew take the bulk of the damage. Able to keep this game even, Super Hot Crew grabs 2 kills and a dragon with no reply from Fnatic. The longer the game went, the tankier everyone got, especially Renekton. While making a play at Baron, Mimir body blocks the entire Fnatic team, denying them vision of Nashor and tearing away at their health bars. Having secured the buff, Super Hot Crew start their final assault on the enemy base and successfully ace the enemy team and finish off the Nexus to emerge victorious. Super Hot Crew beats Fnatic in a 39-minute game, extending their losing streak to 6 games. After 2 days worth of games in the EU, LCS Team Rocket is in first place with Gambit Gaming on their heels in second. Sitting in a 3-way tie for third is Fnatic, SK Gaming, and Super Hot Crew. Copenhagen Wolves locks down 6th place for themselves, while Alliance and Millennium end the week in a tie for 7th. Alright, now moving on over to the North American division, where our pick for last week's games were first place Team Solo Mid versus Team Coast. Things started out rather interesting as both the junglers and top laners did a little bit of what I guess you could call a dance with the Red Lizard right as they spawned. But right as Coast's mid laner, Shifter, hits level 2, he decides to join the tango that's going on in the jungle. Ahri then manages to land her charm, denying the escape. However, Shifter's Ignite would get the last tick off on the odd one, securing first blood and the lead for Team Coast. Later on, TSM makes an attempt at the first Baron of the game, but Coast is close by, poking away at TSM with the aid of Baron Nashor and laying down some serious damage. All the while, AD carry Wiz Fusion is pushing hard in the bottom lane. It's only after losing an inhibitor that TSM decides to pull back, and moments later, Coast makes their own move on Baron. The odd one makes one last attempt to secure the buff by man dropping into the middle of Team Coast, only to miss his smite by a few hundred HP. Coast uses this power boost to secure objectives and then eventually ace TSM. In the end, Shifter takes a page out of X-Peke's book and takes down the Nexus by using his Spirit Rush to juke the enemy's skill shots, ending the 11-match win streak for TSM in a 43-minute game, going 19-26.
Oh my God! but he does get it. Ghost breaks the win streak of Team Solo Mid to go 5-8.
As things currently stand in the NALCS, Team Solo Mid remain at the top in first place. Cloud9 and Counter Logic Gaming follow close behind in second and third. Team Dignitas are in fourth place, while Evil Geniuses, Team Coast, and Team Curse duke it out in a three-way tie for fifth. And finally, ending week 6 of the NALCS are XDG Gaming in 8th place. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. Be sure to check back every week on Friday for updated League of Legends news. If you guys like this video, be sure to like and comment below, as I promised once again, it does help spread our audience and I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to see more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LOLNation TV. I'm Mike Shaftnet. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Mike Shaftnet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.